Welcome back to another day in exercise science. We're continuing on with the anatomy and physiology unit, and within that unit we are going to take a closer look at muscles of the forearm, and those are specifically the forearm flexors. Now, focusing in on this area of the forearm, there are 6 different muscles we are going to look at individually. All of these muscles are responsible for flexing the wrist and flexing the digits, which allows us to create a grasping type motion. You'll notice in the top right hand corner of your screen, page 58 in your coloring book, specifically the top half of that page will allow you to focus on the muscles we are going to be looking at. Now, before we get started with each individual muscle, it's important to take a look at this area of the arm. And the area I have circled on your screen is an area that includes the medial epicondyle of the humerus. And this is important because the large majority of these flexor muscles attach on this area. Looking at the individual muscles, we'll start with the flexor digitorum profundus. Origin, as you can see, is up in the medial part of the arm, and the insertion for the flexor digitorum profundus is at the distal phalange of the 4 fingers. And this muscle is the one that allows us to grasp with our fingers and to bend in and create that fist type motion. Next muscle is the flexor pollicis longus, and as you go through these muscles and start to look at their position, what they do, and their name, you can start to put some clues together as to how you can figure out what the muscle is and does from its name. In this case, the flexor pollicis longus, pollicis refers to thumb, and longus refers to the size of the muscle. It's a long, thin muscle that does attach on the distal part of the thumb, and this allows us, obviously, to flex our thumb. Flexor digitorum superficialis is very similar in many ways to the flexor digitorum profundus. It is a more superficial muscle, but again, it has 4 attachment points on the phalanges of the finger, and it's a large, broad muscle which again has its origin on the medial epicondyle. Flexor carpi ulnaris, you can see right here, the flexor carpi ulnaris attaches on the carpal bones, and it is located on the ulna side of the forearm. The palmaris longus, again, clues in its name. Palmaris, it has insertion points on the palm area of the hand. It attaches on the metacarpals, and again, origin is up on the medial epicondyle. And flexor carpi radialis, that you see here, is very similar in location and structure to the flexor carpi ulnaris. However, you can tell these 2 muscles apart because the flexor carpi radialis attaches down at the hand area on the radial side, as opposed to the flexor carpi ulnaris, which attaches on the ulna side. So there we have our 6 muscles. Quickly review: flexor digitorum profundus, flexor pollicis longus, flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor carpi ulnaris, palmaris longus, and flexor carpi radialis. Again, page 58 in your coloring books, there's some excellent diagrams there that give you a very clear view of